Welcome back to the second episode. I'm Jeremy Cecil here in Nairobi at African Television Network. I'm bringing to you today one of the freshest news topics that is ongoing right now in terms of social media regulation. Stay tuned for that, but here are the major stories of the week. The 2018 World Cup takes place in Russia this year. There will only be 5 African teams going: Egypt, Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria, and Tunisia. The NBA Finals comes to an end as LeBron falls to an overpowering team in Golden State. This puts LeBron's legacy at 3 wins to 6 losses in the NBA Finals. LeBron James is going into free agency this season, and many teams are going to be looking to acquire him. The government has proposed to implement a social media laws that will ensure people's safety online, given that fake news is so prevalent in our society today. The government aims to defeat fake news and, most of all, hate speech and malice against other people online. The internet is such a widely used platform that anybody can go online and share any type of information. And that's the problem that we have today, fake news basically. And that's where social media regulation comes into play, and is it necessary for us to have that? We're going to be taking an in-depth look at why social media is necessary, or if it's just something that the government needs to do to control people. Stay tuned for more information on that topic. Let's take a look at what some of you are saying over at Twitter. One of you here using the hashtag social media should be free says that it's not pragmatic for the government to start enforcing these laws on other people, but who knows. Thank you for your tweets. Be sure to be tweeting throughout the show using the hashtag social media should be free. My social media handle is at Jeremy Kenya and at Africa Television Network. Stay tuned as we go on a break, and we'll be back with the feature.
So do you think the government should regulate social media?
Yes, I do feel that the government should regulate social media, mainly because we have seen that many suicide attempts, or rather suicides that have happened in the young generation, is due to cyberbullying and attacking by many people. So I do believe the government should. However, the way they have done it is very wrong. It seems to me that they have overdone it. I think there is a way they can be able to come up with laws that necessarily don't interfere with our privacy.
So do you think the government should regulate social media?
I think the government should regulate social media because we need to get rid of cyberbullies, and also we need people to be careful which content they're posting on social media.
All right, there you have it. That was our feature. So tell me, what do you think about the current situation in terms of social media regulation?
I feel like the regulations are ridiculous because they're punishing everyone as a whole instead of the individual few who are the ones breaking the law. The reason why I think it's unfair is because even on every social media there's only like a report option. Should someone post something indecent that shouldn't be for public consumption, at least on those platforms, whether it's YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, there's a report option. So it's not fair for the government to punish every person who uses those platforms for the few who are posting whatever it is they're posting that they shouldn't.
Thank you for putting the time into interviewing those people. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the second social media tweet that you guys are sending in. Be sure to be using the hashtag save or social media should be free on Facebook and Twitter specifically. Here we have one of you saying that social media should be free for everyone to use, and it's ridiculous for us to think that we can regulate it. All right, fair enough. Thank you for chiming in. Be sure to be sending your thoughts in with the social media handle Save Our Social Media Should Be Free and at Jeremy Kenya. All right. Today on the show we have three panelists who are relatively well versed in terms of social media and the internet. The first panelist we have is Mr. Tom Wakala, who's a support specialist at Daystar University who works in ICT in the ICT department. Welcome, Tom. All right. Tom, do you believe it's necessary for us to regulate social media?
It's very necessary to have some regulations come to the social media and the internet. As you can get, most people using the internet, most of them usually abuse the rights of others. You have a lot of fake news circulating, so it was very okay for them to regulate the internet and the contents, especially in social media.
All right. And given that fake news is such a huge problem today, do you think it's justified for us to, or for the government to impose these laws?
The big problem is that most of these social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, they are not owned in Kenya. All the servers and the contents are in abroad. So we don't have any administration rights from our side or from our end. Like right now, even you can go on the internet, open the Facebook page, create an account, give false details, then you impersonate somebody and start spreading false or hatred speech. So it will be very hard to manage.
Thank you, Tom. Now for our second panelist, Robata Amondi, who's a social media influencer. Welcome to the show, Ms. Amondi. All right, so do you think that it's necessary for us to regulate social media, and have you ever had any problems online?
To some extent, I feel like there needs to be regulations for whatever that is being put out there. But then when it comes to maybe infringing upon people's personal rights and people's ability to be able to make money off of this social media.
All right. And do you think it's in the government's best interest, Ms. Omondi, to regulate social media, to operate?
Well, the licenses, from what I read and what I saw on TV, they said just films are what need to be licensed. Everything else that is probably for personal use, or even if you're making money from it, but it's not, how do I put it? It's not, they will be regulated. Our work as social media influencers and people who make money from social media, our work is going to be regulated, but we don't necessarily need to get licenses. That's just needed for the films and stuff like that, to my understanding. But if anything pops up, then I guess it's going to be hectic, because most of us cannot even afford the fees for this license. It's not, the money we make from social media isn't enough to sustain licenses and renewing of contracts and such things. So I feel like it's going to be a bit unfair to us.
Thank you for your time. And our third panelist, Naomi Nduku, who's going to give us an insight on what it's like to be using social media on a daily basis. Welcome to the show, Naomi.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Do you think the government is in the right to start regulating social media? I mean, the internet is free for everybody to use, so would you feel suppressed in a way?
At some point, I think it's necessary, because there are some individuals who like misusing social media. They take the advantage of the situation that there were no rules before, so they can just comment anything, like insult people, bully them on social media. So us having regulations on social media is a good
And
thing.
just as I asked Ms. Omondi earlier, have you ever experienced these situations where you've been cyberbullied?
You mean me being insulted on social media?
Right.
Yes, I have before, and it was way back when I was a teenager, and it was really, really bad. Social media, me being bullied and insulted on social media is a bad thing, and I wouldn't want anyone else to encounter the same thing. So having the regulations, it's a good thing.
Right. Thank you for your time. Those were our 3 panelists. Be sure to follow them. Now let's take a look at what some of you are saying over on Twitter. You think, one of you here says that it's within the government's best interest to control social media because these days there's a lot of false information going on. So you think that it is the best option right now, given that the internet is growing on a daily basis. All right? Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and be sure to be sharing them using at Jeremy Kenya or at Africa Tea Network. Allow me to give you my verdict on social media regulation. I believe it's something that's necessary in today's time, given that fake news is so prevalent. But there comes a time where too much regulation is a problem, but we're not there yet. So I think the government starting to regulate online spaces is a necessity, especially with hate speech and people talking badly about each other. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode on Africa Television Network. I'm Jeremy Sesson.